Today's review is sponsored by Genital Ventriloquism. Bring some humor into the bedroom.
Watch it, Alan. I'm shooting.
Basket case. For the next few videos, we're going to be taking a look at one of the stranger trilogies in the horror genre, the Basket Case trilogy, directed by Frank Henenlotter. If I were to do a list of my top 10 favorite directors, of course you would see people like Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, and Alfred Hitchcock. But right alongside them, you'd see people like Lucio Fulci, John Waters, and Frank Henenlotter. The reason I'm such a big Henenlotter fan is because he proudly sees himself as an exploitation film director. He's able to take these small budgets and make these fun, sleazy, and original movies. His films are not like most films in the horror genre, which brings us to Basket Case. The movie follows a young man named Dwayne who checks into the grimy Hotel Broslin. All he has to his name is a wad of cash and a wicker basket that he takes with him everywhere. What's in the basket, you ask? Well, obviously, it's his deformed twin brother, Belial.
What's in the basket?
You see, Dwayne and Belial were Siamese twins. When they were kids, their father hired a group of doctors to have them surgically separated, and then they left Belial to die. Now, all grown up, they have come to New York City to get revenge on the doctors who separated them. Right off the bat, I love the location. This was filmed on 42nd Street in New York City during the 1980s. This was before the New York cleanup, when the streets were filled with trash, drug dealers, and hookers. 42nd Street was the dirtiest street of them all. The scene where Dwayne is walking down the sidewalk captures that old, sleazy feeling. Trash on the sidewalks, porno theaters in the background. If I had to pick my favorite setting for horror movies, it would be cities. Especially back when they were grimy. The Driller Killer, New York Ripper, Street Trash, and of course Maniac. I love sleazy urban thrillers. It shows that even in civilization, you ain't safe. Basket Case isn't really a low-budget film, it's a no-budget film. This is no-budget filmmaking at its finest. When making Basket Case, producer Arnold Bruck was unable to raise money for the movie. So Frank became frustrated and began production with only $8,000, which was all the money he had to his name. Arnold Bruck matched that, so they had $16,000 to start the production. What they did was they would take what little money they had to film a couple scenes, then show what they had to potential investors so they could raise more money, then film a few more scenes until they ran out of cash, then try to raise more money. This was the ongoing cycle throughout the production. That's insane. Movies going over budget and needing more cash flow is not uncommon, but usually those movies have a budget to begin with. With Basket Case, they had no money, started production, and raised money as they were making the movie. Because of this lack of money, Basket Case has a cheap quality. There's an awkwardness to the film. Everybody involved was either an amateur actor or amateur filmmaker. But that's the charm of this movie. What makes this movie so enjoyable is the cheesiness and the campiness of the filmmaking. You can tell everything was done guerrilla style, and you can see that everyone involved was trying their best to make this little horror movie that they had no idea was going to become a cult success. And Basket Case has earned its cult following. The effects work is delightfully cheesy. I love Belial. He's a fun movie monster. When you first see him, you wonder, what the hell can he do? He's just a blob of flesh with claws and teeth. But he has some damn good kills. He doesn't really talk, he just lets out these screams, grunts, and groans. And I like the fleshy design. There's this fun scene where he goes into a fit of rage and just starts tearing the hotel room apart. The way they bring Belial to life is a mixture of puppetry and stop-motion animation. The claymation is pretty wonky. That's because it was done by Frank Henenlotter himself, and he had never done this before. But again, it adds to the no budget charm of the movie. The effects were done by Kevin Haney, who worked on Altered States before he worked on Basket Case, but he had to drop out to work on the movie Wolfen, so we got John Caglione Jr. to take his place. Caglione went on to do the makeup for a little movie called The Dark Knight. He's the one who did the makeup for Heath Ledger's Joker.
He turns to me and he says, "Why so serious?"
Because of that very minor connection, I like to think that the Basket Case trilogy takes place in the same universe as the Dark Knight trilogy. Now you won't be able to watch The Dark Knight without thinking of this. I like the connection between Dwayne and Belial. Dwayne was played by Kevin Van Hentenryck. His performance is amateur, but that's the case with all the actors in this movie. And they are putting in legitimate effort. Dwayne's performance works because he's supposed to be this mentally unstable person who's out of touch with normal society. Belial is the only friend he's ever had, and he's able to talk to Dwayne in his mind. It's an interesting dynamic.
No, I don't want to talk now. Go back to sleep. Oh, come on. Gotta get up early.
Because they were born Siamese twins, Belial thinks that he and Dwayne should share everything, including their first sexual experience.
Take me, Dwayne.
Oh my God, what's that? Dwayne, let me out.
Who the hell says take me? Question for the women out there. When you're getting frisky with your man, woman, whatever, do you say take me? Dwayne ends up meeting this woman named Sharon, and the two develop a liking for each other for some reason. Sharon's also a fun character. Her performance is goofy and over the top.
Yesterday it was squeaking, like if a mouse was caught inside. Real high-pitched, like...
Then, of course, there's Casey, the lovable hooker next door. At least I think she's a hooker. Her and Dwayne develop a friendship, and she's the first person he reveals his secret to. Casey is just a likable character.
What's in the basket?
My brother.
Your brother!
Then, of course, there's the gore. It's that fun, low-budget gore. Belial manages to really mess some people up. He mostly leaps onto people's faces and tears them up, but we still manage to get a variety in the kills. My favorite is when Dwayne and Belial go after the head doctor. The scream, the blood pouring out of the mouth, the payoff, which I will not spoil here, it's just a fun on-screen death. Time for the Grindhouse rankings. We've got a body count of 6. It would be higher, but the sequels changed that. The kills consist of, but are not limited to, death by fleshy monster, facial lacerations, being torn or cut in half, both horizontally and vertically, and scalpels to the face. The film has a low-budget charm to it. Belial is a very entertaining movie monster. The nudity is high with both male and female nude scenes, so there's something for everybody. It has a dirty urban setting, which I like. There's plenty of B-movie gore. The characters are fun. The villain is fun. The death scenes are fun. It's just a fun horror movie. I don't know if everyone will agree with me, but I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. It's a very entertaining, bloody, sleazy flick about brotherly love. As always, I want to thank all of you for watching and supporting my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you like what I do here, or give it a thumbs down if you don't like what I do here. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your favorite very low budget horror movie. And stay tuned for the next video. We'll be looking at Basket Case 2. This is the Maniac, here to remind you that the Grindhouse will never die. Am I the only one who wants to see a Batman vs. Basket Case movie now? Yeah, probably.